Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome to the Fargo Police Department's Academy graduation ceremony for Class 3. We will begin with a posting of the colors by the Fargo Police Department's Honor Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Honor Guard, attention. Forward, march. Honor Guard, halt. Left face. Prepared post. Post. Present. Arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Order. March. Right face. Forward. March.
We will start with welcome remarks from Chief Dave Zabolski.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for your attendance. It's really invigorating to see such a large crowd of family, friends, department members here to support and recognize the good work that these folks have done over the last 12 weeks. I'd also like to recognize our elected officials that are here, the mayor and others, our training staff, and you'll get to meet them personally very soon. The work that they have done over the past 12 weeks with these new officers, future officers, is nothing short of exceptional. And their efforts mean a lot to the success of everyone else as well. I'd also like to introduce our executive team and our command staff team, if they could just briefly come up so you could get a look at who some of the folks are that are, I would say, the brain trust behind operational things that occur in the department, so that you get to know who they are a little bit as we progress forward in their careers. Captain Chris Helmick is in charge of our Neighborhood Services Division. So for those folks, most of all of you that will be starting out in patrol, that'll be your commanding officer. Assistant Chief Travis Stefanowicz is second in command of the department, so he's kind of my right hand. Has oversight of all the operational things that are happening and emergency management and things of that nature. Deputy Chief Joe Anderson is commander of our Professional Standards Division, which has not only the training division, where all of these folks work, but our Professional Accountability Unit, which handles all of our internal investigations and things of that nature. Lieutenant Matt Christensen is our second shift commander, so he has oversight over all the officers that are working during the evening hours. Lieutenant Bill Alfelt is our commander of the Specialized Services Unit. He's got oversight of things such as SWAT, motorcycles, the airport, DROs, a whole host of specialty units within the department that are out there doing a variety of different tasks. Lieutenant Shane Aberly is our lieutenant in charge of the Professional Accountability Unit, so he oversees all of those activities. And Captain George Vincent is our commander of our Criminal Investigations Division. So those, such as this weekend, we had kind of a busy weekend. We had a lot of action in the Criminal Investigation Division as well as Neighborhood Services. So our detectives, investigators, our Intelligence and Analysis Unit work out of that division as well. So I'd just like to take the opportunity to recognize and thank them for their efforts. If you could just give them a round of applause, please. I also want to thank our communications team for the excellent work that they've done setting up this graduation and our subsequent swear-in ceremony. Outstanding work. They did a lot of effort. The brochures that you see are really top-notch, and the planning, I think, into this celebration has been excellent. So it's much appreciated. Welcome to all the family members and friends, right, that fill the room. You are important cogs in the future of your loved one's career. So just remember that you always have a place. I'm going to remind them again here down the road that they need to make sure they keep communication open with you and that you are kind of a very important mechanism of support for them. So thank you for being here. And of course, welcome to Fargo Police Academy Class number 3. Would you please recognize and just give them a round of applause? It's a fine-looking group of men and women who have the distinction of being our largest recruit class in department history, with 22 graduates here this morning. You started out as a group of individuals with similar interests, and 12 weeks later you sit here as a team with shared goals and values. And that's the difference between a group and a team. A group is a bunch of people that are together doing the same thing, but they may not be in it for the larger goal. They might have individual needs and things that take away from the effort. A team has shared goals and values. We're pulling the rope in the same direction. Our department is made up of small teams that turn that big wheel, and when we're all in sync, we're doing the best job possible. Our capacity is as great as it can be, and our service is as good as it can be. So nice job on that, and no matter what happens as you go throughout your career, these are the group of people that you graduated the academy with. 25 years from now, you'll be looking back and going, oh, where are these people? Who's doing what? Who's in what position? Who got promoted, right? Who's doing A, B, or C? And so that piece is always going to be with you as Academy number 3. What you've done is really an extraordinary transition that some of you may have initially questioned. Can I do this? Can I do what it needs to take to be a law enforcement officer? It takes commitment, perseverance, and sacrifice. As my dad would say, nothing worthwhile comes easy. But without question, you've demonstrated those qualities and prepared yourself for the honor to serve as a law enforcement officer, which is one of the noblest professions we have. I want to personally recognize and thank all of you for your hard work and effort that you put forth in both building your knowledge and physical skills. These baseline skills include something as rudimentary as knowing the diameter of a steering wheel, which is, what is it? 13, okay, good. Yes, that was a question that we had to pass on the test, right? Not the most important thing, but rudimentary. To engaging with your community, helping a crime victim, to applying sound judgment, problem solving, and decision making, the 3 biggest qualities that an officer needs to be successful in a split second, when someone's life may be in danger, including your own. So we run the gamut of something simple to something really significant for you and our community in just a matter of seconds. And you, with your vast knowledge, having graduated the academy, are expected to apply all those skills like that and to make the right decision. We recognize this is very difficult, and this is not something that you walk away with today. This is an acquired skill over time. You're in a continual learning environment, so as you start on your next steps, remember that this is incremental. You will not be able to handle everything at the start, but you will grow to be very competent and have the ability to handle almost every situation that comes your way, and to apply that sound judgment, decision-making, and problem-solving. 12 weeks ago, you took the first step towards what I hope is your passion: public service, guardianship. Today, we celebrate your success and achievements as you prepare to graduate from the best law enforcement academy in North Dakota, and many of you prepare to join the best law enforcement team, not just in our state, but in the country. Being a law enforcement officer, a guardian of our community, is a difficult and challenging profession. A lot is asked of you. A lot is demanded of you. We recognize that, and we're here to support those efforts. It remains extremely rewarding as well. You'll have the opportunity to make a difference every day and safeguard those that are the most vulnerable while preventing future victimization. If done properly, your efforts will leave a positive mark within your department and within your community. Law enforcement is also dynamic and ever-changing. You must approach it as a continual learning environment and must be able to adapt and function effectively within it. I and our staff are confident that you will be able to do that. And we're very excited that you've reached this next step in your career path. So in closing, thanks again to the family of these graduates. It was great to meet with many of you last Thursday and again this morning. All of you should be very proud of these folks sitting at the table. And congratulations to Fargo Police Academy number 3. All of you have much to be proud of as well. And we wish you the best for a long, safe, and healthy career as a law enforcement officer. Nice job.
Thank you, Chief. Part of the graduation ceremony was having the graduates select one of their peers to represent the class and speak today. That graduate is Richard Hughes. Richard, please come up.
I promise to keep it short. I know there's donuts in the lobby, so we got to get out there to them. Well, good morning, and thank you everyone for attending today's ceremony. The turnout was incredible. I was hoping it'd be a little bit smaller crowd, but we'll work through this. So, I've got to admit I wasn't exactly excited about the opportunity to come speak. Nobody ever enjoys getting up in front of everyone, but I'm honored to have the opportunity to congratulate my peers in this accomplishment. First off, I'd like to thank the instructors for facilitating such a top-notch training regimen and program. The level of professionalism and expertise was amazing, right? If they were ever stumped by a what-if question, and there were a lot of those, they never hesitated. They jumped at the opportunity and worked as a group to find the answer and never left anything open-ended. Secondly, thank you to the families, right? If you guys weren't behind us, we wouldn't be able to do this, so thank you. I'm sure some of you weren't pleased with the career choices that we've made, but we'll get through it as a group, right? What an exciting day, though, right? 12 long weeks of training, we finally made it to the finish line. It seemed like a long way off back in May when we barely talked to each other, and now here we are. We did lose a few classmates along the way, which only heightened the suspension, the anxiety for us all as their name tags would randomly disappear throughout the course, and we're like, oh man, who's next, right? Hoping it wouldn't be us. Some days were harder than others. Every day brought new challenges, tests, and information and material. I was blown away by all the stuff we were tasked with learning. Many days we had to muster the strength to sit through long PowerPoint presentations, which nobody enjoys, right? But it had to be done. Or endure the long runs in the extreme heat up and down University. And then lastly, everybody's anticipated day of taking a blast of OC spray to the face. And everybody was anxiously awaiting that day. Then other days were way more exciting. Rifle qualification or trying to burn the tires off a squad over at the fairgrounds, which I think probably was the top day for me. Through it all, we grew as individuals, more importantly, as a team. Each person brought their own strengths and weaknesses that we could work off and accomplish the task presented. Carry this team mentality with you into the streets, understanding that you're never alone. The Fargo Police Department has shown itself to be one large family, where officers can rely on each other 24/7, on or off duty, day or night, no questions asked. In closing, I'll leave you with some fatherly advice, since the class never let me forget that I was the oldest one. And I've got a captive audience, so I'll take advantage. Don't shy away from asking for help. Pride will only get you so far. Never stop learning. Take every opportunity to expand your knowledge base, and there's always room for improvement. And lastly, remember your why. The chief brought it up day one. Why are you here, right? You were signing up for a sometimes difficult but ultimately rewarding position. But again, we'll get through it. Congratulations on such an amazing task and accomplishment, and I look forward to seeing you on the streets. Thank you.
Great job, Richard. Next, we are excited to debut the Fargo Police Academy Class 3 video. We are excited to share a glimpse into what these 22 graduates have experienced over the course of the last 12 weeks.
So our academy is a 12-week academy where we cover a wide variety of topics that are not only important to a law enforcement officer, but are focused really specifically for the Fargo police officer.
Typically when we're teaching our academy students, we're bringing them in a classroom format, providing the material to them in a lecture type format, and then introducing scenarios, real life situations where they can apply what they've learned.
I think coming into it, it sounded overwhelming with everything that we were going to be learning, everything they expected of us. But just as we got through it, it was just getting more comfortable.
I was like super nervous about it. They really helped a lot with that. The instructors, they helped calm nerves, I think, through like everybody.
From like day one to where we're at now, when we get put into scenarios and stuff like that and practicals, to where things just kind of become second nature now.
Our vision, mission, and value statement really guides everything that we do in the department, whether it's training, whether it's you're on patrol, whether you're in investigations. So trying to integrate that as much as we can into the academy is really a major goal of ours, so then it's just easy for them to take those vision, mission, values and then just apply them directly on the street.
We go a lot more in depth of learning from the classroom to going right into hands-on and learning how the Fargo Police Department operates specifically to get us prepared for the field.
I really like that it teaches you the Fargo way and gets you set up for success to work for Fargo PD. I think that's super unique for any other academies in the area.
It's a lot of classroom work. You know, we're in the classroom majority of the days.
I think I've sat in those chairs longer than I've ever remembered sitting in a college class.
Note-taking in class of PowerPoints and presentations and people coming in and talking to us. In high school I didn't take a whole lot of notes, and I find myself taking more and more notes in this academy.
We take like criminal law, traffic law, so we can all learn city ordinance, our state laws and all that stuff.
And I think one of the bigger things is how much they hammered like searches and seizures and amendments and how we apply those in case law and how we can do searches and when they're legal and when they're illegal. I think that was one of the bigger ones for me.
I kind of came into the academy without having any like criminal law background at all. And I feel like with the instructors, they've been like really diligent, and I've learned so much. So much more than I thought I would have known just by learning the ins and outs of, you know, what it actually means to be a police officer and actually what it means to be a Fargo police officer.
Room clearing was kind of challenging, and that first day, especially when you're just kind of learning it and go around that corner and you get shot.
Going in, you just kind of got to think on your feet, get a tactical approach going. And it's a lot of fun because you get to kind of really work with your teammates and stuff and get to know how they like to work.
You know that in this situation, if you do everything right and if everyone follows everything, that they won't shoot. It is stressful, but it's also a learning moment. I've learned more here during that training than probably 5 years in the National Guard.
My favorite thing, probably room clearing with simunition rounds or getting tased. That was pretty fun. So I watched a lot of videos of it and I was like, all right, this is gonna suck. And then when it actually hit me, time slowed down. I thought it was gonna be for 5 seconds. It felt for like 40. I may have needed some soap afterwards for my mouth.
Taser, 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 deploy, deploy, deploy. Lower him down, lower him down. Okay, stay down, stay down.
It was a good experience to learn, but it really hurt.
I walked in there and I see strobe lights flashing, it's dark in there, and there's this person laying on the ground. All of a sudden, blood starts squirting everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and they're like, you gotta stop the bleed, stop the bleed. So I'm trying to find where it's at, finally find it, and then I just feel wet, just going all over me. When I was twisting the tourniquet, I couldn't get it locked into place, and it was crazy. Finally got it locked into place, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's over.
It's like driving fast, but still safe. It's like precision driving. You can't hit the cones, otherwise you're gonna get time penalties.
I definitely learned you can do a lot more than I thought you could. Some of the stuff that we did, I initially thought like there's no way we could do that, and once we did it, I kind of realized like, wow, you could actually, like these cars can handle quite a bit. And it's what everyone wants to be when they're a cop, is just drive fast and put on the sirens and lights, and really pushing the cars and seeing what they can really handle is really cool.
From the first day, it was very tough. I was not ready for it, but now I'm kind of improving on it, and I feel a lot better than I did. Definitely learned about being able to push myself to my limits as well.
At first, I couldn't do push-ups, like 10 push-ups in a day. I didn't know how to do those funny those funny exercises, but now I can do 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups in one day. I don't get tired easily.
Defensive tactics I liked, just kind of doing those every single week, building on like the takedowns and getting out from underneath somebody.
They come in handy a lot in case people want to be resisting. It helps keep officers safe. If in case they have to go hands-on with somebody just because they're not compliant, it's a way to keep us safe and to be able to like execute our job appropriately.
Like I never did wrestling or anything, I did rugby, but defensive tactics, actually knowing, you know, the safest way to detain suspects, even, you know, try to keep ourselves safe, but also to, you know, use the right amount of physicalness to actually be able to detain them and detain them safely.
They show us these defense tactics, how to take someone down, how to put someone in cuffs. We'll have one person resisting and then the other person playing as an officer, put them in cuffs, and then we would like change the role so you can feel like how it is to be the person who is resisting and the person who is the officer. So you get both.
Before we even get into shooting, everyone's got to have a very strong understanding of all the firearm safety. They definitely drill that into our heads before we're even allowed to go into the shooting range.
The instructors are really good at what they do. They're really good at starting with people from somebody who's never shot to being able to get them to pass the qualifications to carry in law enforcement.
Handling training firearms daily as soon as we get into class and then throughout the day, going over reloading drills, malfunction drills, all aspects of firearm safety and manipulation.
We were out running LiDAR guns, so you'd take it, you take sight into the gun. It's not an actual gun, but you take it and you bounce it off the license plates of the cars, oncoming or leaving, and it would hit the license plate and bounce back, and it would tell you how fast the car was going.
So one of us had to guess the speed limit, the car that was coming forward, and then the one with the radar had to like tell them the actual speed. So that was fun too, knowing what speed the car is coming from and then knowing the exact speed.
It was fun, kind of be able to see those indicators of what we're looking for when we do get out on the streets.
Throughout the day, being able to apply like the tests that we learned and really seeing what, you know, we heard for the past few days, like, oh, this is the things that you're going to notice, this is the things that you're supposed to be looking for, but then being able to actually see it really, really helps. I think all of us grow more comfortable and pay more close attention to what we're looking for when we are making those stops, because it is really crucial to make sure that you're meeting, you know, the clues that you're supposed to be looking for. And it was a great experience getting to actually see it on people that were really under the influence.
Fargo is a very diverse community, and it's getting more diverse as the years go on and as Fargo grows. So I really like that Fargo PD has an emphasis on diversity within their police department and also the community resources that they have. I'm really glad I learned about those resources that we have to offer the community and the services that we're able to provide through that.
Experiencing these different cultures is kind of something I look forward to as a police officer. You know, if you only speak English or if you only understand one culture, then you're not going to thrive here in Fargo.
The K-9 unit is very well organized. It's a lot of times people just look at the dogs and it's like, oh, they just let them free. It's like, no, there's actually months and then weeks of constant training to keep the dogs on par.
It was cool watching how the dogs, how they work and be able to see them go around the car.
So I ended up getting selected to wear the suit to get the dog bite. After the dog took off and I looked back, I could see him coming at me. I'm like, there's no going back now. And I ended up biting my arm and rolling on the ground, and then when I was on the ground, he actually was able to pull me across the ground.
The gas, it was not fun. It gets in your lungs and you're hard to breathe, makes your eyes burn and water a lot.
That was my first time getting maced with the OC spray. That was very painful, but it was nice because that's a part of the mental resilience that we've been working on. We were able to go through something like that and work through it to finish the task.
For me, the best way to get through pain or anything like that is just kind of using humor to kind of get through it.
It's like how it feels to chew 5 gum.
It's like the commercial. Keep working, you're right there.
It's a painful experience. It's not comfortable, but you just kind of put that pain in a box and you can do pretty much anything.
The real big win for us is that we can steep these new recruits in our organizational culture, our vision, mission, values, teach them how to do things the Fargo way, and really get them embedded into the organization. So it's not just learning how to be a cop, it's learning how to be a Fargo cop, and I think that's a big difference from the rest of the state.
We start out the academy with very basic scenarios, and then as the academy progresses, we work our way towards some pretty advanced scenarios. There's that progression with the scenario-based training, but also in the classroom, we're giving the students regular feedback, and for a lot of them, it might be the first time in their life they've received some very difficult feedback. These are tough conversations that we have with students at times. But the students that we have here today have been able to apply that feedback, and they've grown a lot over the last 12 weeks.
The amount of growth we see on a daily basis is remarkable, and it's really cool to see that in person.
Everybody kind of comes in at different fitness levels as far as the PT stuff, but everybody's given 100% effort, everything they have, and it's just been phenomenal. It's made me even proud myself just to see how far some people have come.
Going from day one to now, I'm more confident in what I'm doing, and I have more trust in the people that I'm working with.
I think the biggest takeaway for me, and this is a big one for me and the Fargo Police Department, is accountability. You make mistakes, you fail, and you learn from them, and that has been a lesson that I've learned a lot here. Not in a bad way, but with all the different sorts of scenarios we do. Every scenario we do progressing throughout the academy, I'm just getting so much better because I'm like, oh wait, I gotta slow down, I gotta remember this, remember that.
I've definitely learned a lot of things about myself, things that I now know that I'm able to handle. Physically, I've seen myself improve a lot, as well as like leadership skills and communication skills are probably my biggest things that I've seen changes in.
There's a lot that I didn't know. Everybody assumes they know what this job entails or what it's like just by watching TV. That's not the case. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff and a lot of knowledge that goes into this job.
Definitely a lot better at working through things that you didn't know you could handle. Starting out at the academy, I probably wouldn't think I would be able to operate through that, but I got it done and was able to kind of push through and finish my task.
They've put us pretty much through everything we use here. I mean, we've been tased, pepper sprayed, tear gas, shot with sim rounds. We've done pretty much all of it, and that's one of the biggest things we've learned is no matter what you face, you can fight through it.
This is really real stuff that we're going to be encountering on the streets that we need to be ready for, and they push us here because they know we can do it, and it's so important.
This group has had an opportunity to be together for 12 weeks, not only learning our culture, but kind of integrating themselves into our culture as a smaller team in a larger department. Now as they go out and they get dispersed into different shifts, work with different people, they're always going to have that attachment that they went to the academy together. They're going to remember that until they retire. So that's a neat little piece for them to take forward as they kind of join the larger Fargo PD team and participate and add to our growth.
Every day, all day long, been hanging out with each other. A couple of us have gotten together outside to, whether it be study or just chatting. We're all laughing in the classroom, talking with each other about personal lives and kind of just building that family setting.
These individuals in my class, they are so funny. They are really nice people to be around. They are smart people. I've learned that they are so smart and they are really nice people to talk to, and they are really good individuals.
They take you from not knowing anything about law enforcement to like up here, being ready to be out there on the street, making the right decisions and choices. And it feels kind of great to have, like that great support system that, even our instructors, they are going to be our coworkers, and everyone else that I've met in the department, all of my other classmates, like everyone's just such a great resource.
We all got better together, and it was just awesome to see kind of everybody's knowledge, physical strength, defensive training, all that had just grown.
I've definitely enjoyed my time here, but it's I'm definitely ready to get in a squad car with PTO and start actually working for the police department and helping people and being in that service role.
I'd like to thank the City Comms team for putting that outstanding video together. That was well done, and we appreciate it. At this time, as we segue into the next portion of our ceremony, I'd like to acknowledge the group of instructors that really made this academy possible. Throughout the academy, we had a number of instructors that came up and taught your loved ones, but the 5 that I'm going to recognize worked 50-plus hours a week and really put a lot of time and effort into developing your loved ones into and what you see or what we're hoping that they're going to be today. So at this time, if I can get Sergeant Brandon Kerr, Sergeant Tom Shaw, Sergeant Travis Berger, Officer Ian Christon, and Officer Rob Essler. These individuals did an outstanding job, and if you could please give them a round of applause, please.
All right, so we'll get into the presentation of class awards now. The first award is valedictorian. The valedictorian award is given to the student who finished with the highest overall GPA. We cover a wide range of complex topics, and students are assessed through various practical knowledge applications, including the final post-certification test. I'd like to congratulate Elliot Dugan with the valedictorian award for his outstanding academic achievement during this summer's academy.
Firearms proficiency, familiarity, and safety is a necessity for students as they transition into their law enforcement careers. This student showed great attention to detail in regards to firearm safety, skill improvement, and overall performance. This award also encompasses the fastest time on 2 competition drills, one known as El Presidente, the second was a timed precision shooting drill, as well as the highest score on the Fargo Police Department's primary qualification. I would like to congratulate David Wheeler with the Top Gun Award for excellence in all of these areas.
One course of instruction is the Emergency Vehicle Operations course, also known as EVOC. This course encompasses numerous skills officers need to be proficient and to be able to safely respond to emerging calls for service. During the EVOC course, students are subjected to several obstacles, including the serpentine, evasive maneuver, and controlled braking. Students then race through the final challenge course, which includes all of the obstacles, including some additional ones. This award is given to the student who passed the course with the fastest time and fewest penalties, also known as hitting cones. I would like to congratulate Elliot Dugan with the Top Gear Award for completing the final challenge course in 1 minute, 22 seconds with no penalties.
Over the course of the 12 weeks, students have been constantly tested and evaluated in their performance both academically and physically. An extremely stressful experience to say the least. The Balboa Award is earned by the student who has displayed a constant and infectious positive attitude no matter what task they face. The student that was always prepared for the day's instruction and showed a never quit attitude when faced with difficult situations. This student not only strived to personally improve every single day, but help make the people around them better as well. I'd like to congratulate Latasha Dean with the Balboa Award for exemplary character and determination throughout the academy.
The PRA, or Physical Readiness Assessment, is a physical fitness test that all Academy students must pass in order to graduate the Academy. The course includes an obstacle course that is meant to imitate the stress involved in a foot pursuit, a dynamic weight control machine similar to dealing with a resistive subject, and a heavy bag carry to simulate a downed officer or civilian rescue. All of these obstacles are designed to mimic tasks that an officer may be asked to complete at a moment's notice. This award goes to the student who posted the fastest official time. I would like to congratulate Johnny Lewis with the PRA Award for posting a time of 3 minutes and 40 seconds, almost a full 3 minutes under the state requirement.
Next, we will move to the presentation of certificates for the graduates. The graduates will come and be presented with a certificate and have their photos taken. Photography is okay. If you want to take a photo of your graduate or family member, please feel free to do so. Also, at the end of this ceremony, the officers and instructors will be available for more photos. Tanner Anderson. Logan Adair. Brandon Batterberry. Gage Christ. Latasha Dean. Drew Dosh. Elliot Dugan. Brenna Hildreth. Richard Hughes. Fotinos Korianidis. Shelby Lehman. Johnny Lewis. Evan Luma. Ntumba Lusamba. Christopher Nelson. Dylan Olson. Paul Reed. Jolie Soma. Shaib Suleimani. James Tabert. Vincent Tesh. David Wheeler.
Good morning. For those that don't know me, I'm Sergeant Travis Berger, one of the main instructors for the Fargo Police Department. I will start by saying how honored and proud I am to be speaking here today. This is a familiar setting for all of us, as you've had to sit here and listen to me speak frequently over the last 12 weeks. I know how hard that can be. I've heard myself speak, and listening to me can be exhausting. That being said, this is my last opportunity to address you as a class, and for me, it is truly an opportunity. As Class 3 of the Fargo Police Department, I will say that this by far is my favorite day of the Academy, and it's not because it's technically the last day. This is my favorite day because this is what you've all been working towards all summer long, and in some cases for several years. I know it might come as a surprise to many of you that this is my favorite day, and I'm sure you thought it was the day that I watched you get peppered with ammunition at 500 feet per second while looking for that hiding suspect, or the day you took the 50,000 volt ride from the taser, or the class favorite pepper spray day. You probably saw me and the other instructors smiling and may have thought we thoroughly enjoyed watching that. If we're going to be completely honest, we were smiling. We were smiling the whole time. But it's not what you think. We were overcome with a sense of pride and accomplishment. We saw you dominate the challenges put before you, seeing each of you overcome the anxiety, the fear, the physical and mental challenge, and winning. As a trainer, that is the ultimate award. As I address you this last time as graduates of Class 3, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. We as instructors had a lot of expectations for you in the last 12 weeks. We held you to a high standard. We forced you out of your comfort zone, and we challenged you mentally and physically. And here we are at your graduation. You were up to the challenge. You went through with what was described by some as the hardest 12 weeks of your lives, and you won. The best way I can describe my feeling is by saying thank you. Thank you to the training and development team, Sergeant Kerr, Sergeant Shaw, Sergeant Erickson, Officer Christon, and Officer Essler. It is hard to talk about the work we've done over the last 8 months because I feel like we'll never be able to truly describe it accurately. Although running an academy is extremely rewarding for us, there is no shortage of long days and short nights. I cannot thank you guys enough, and thank you for letting me be a part of this team. Thank you to the entire Fargo Police Department instructor team. We had no shortage of hurdles to overcome this summer, but we knew we could count on you guys to help us get through it. From it filling in for us at the last minute at the academy, to taking on some of our workload and providing high quality training to the rest of our staff so that we could focus on the academy. Your work didn't go unnoticed, and we were fortunate to have such a great team to help us out. Thank you to the friends and family of the graduates. The law enforcement profession is truly a calling. No one enters this profession for the money, the benefits, or the hours. They get into it because they want to help people, serve our communities, and try to make our world a better place, even if it's just a little bit. Many people feel this calling, but few answer it. Your graduates answered it, and you supported it. You continue to support them throughout the summer, and hopefully you continue to support them throughout their careers. We need them. We need them. We need more like them. Our department needs them. Our community needs them, and our society needs them. Thank you for supporting their decision and supporting their life of service. And finally, thank you to the students. Thank you for your hard work, your positive attitudes, your professionalism, and your adaptability. The requirements and standards that we asked of you are what some consider to be extreme. We simply asked you to give us all you had all summer long, and you did. In fact, you did it well. Physically, mentally, academically, professionally, and personally. You truly gave us all you had, and it showed. It showed in the daily performance, out doing PT at 3:30 in the afternoon in the sweltering heat, while Officer Essler asked for 5 more burpees. It showed on the firing line as Sergeant Shaw tap-racked your hands until they were raw. It showed on the DT mats as Officer Christon redefined your comfort zone and your shoulder flexion. It showed in your grades, it showed in how you acted in the classroom, and it showed in the small, cramped offices or picnic tables where we asked the most of you. We asked you to sit there and take the most honest, blunt, critical feedback you've ever had. Based on your reactions, I believe some of you have never had feedback like that before, but you did it. Not only did you take it, but you took it to heart and you used it to better yourselves, to improve. That's an accomplishment. You used a negative that was thrown in your face and turned it into a positive. You did it and you continue to do it and you continue to grow and improve. We are extremely proud of what you've accomplished. As I was preparing these remarks, I couldn't help but think about the statement, "Be safe." That sentiment has been a foundational pillar within the law enforcement culture. Be safe is found at the end of articles, emails, and commonly said to one another within our profession. That saying is so common that I think sometimes we take it for granted. In fact, staying safe is not good enough. We need to win. Some say, make sure you make it home at the end of your shift. That's not good enough. Simply surviving is not good enough for our profession. We must win. We will never quit. We will always win. We win our small battles. We win our tragedies. We will win every day. With 100% confidence, we can tell you that you will win whatever challenge is placed before you. We can say that with confidence because we've been challenging you all summer and proving to you that you are capable of exceeding even your own expectations. Think of some of the things you've done. Some of you had very little experience with firearms and defensive tactics. Most of you have never experienced CS gas or the taser. After you were directly contaminated with pepper spray, you were giving physical and mental tasks to achieve. Think of those accomplishments. Training with simunition and clearing buildings when you knew there were armed suspects inside. Running towards danger. Think of that accomplishment. Improving your physical performance by sparring with some of our most physical officers and winning your scenarios. The list goes on and on. 12 weeks of testing your limits and succeeding. That is why we can say without hesitation that you are prepared for a career in law enforcement. Don't think of today as the end or the completion of your training. We have simply laid the foundation for your future career. This is truly the beginning of your long and successful career in law enforcement. Lastly, I will emphasize the strong family-oriented culture that you are now entering. Law enforcement is truly a family. We must take care of each other and hold each other accountable. A black eye for one of us is a black eye for all of us. As a class, continue to hold each other to the high standard that you have now maintained throughout your training. Take the time to stay in contact with each other and support each other throughout your careers. Don't hesitate to correct each other, and if a wrong turn is taken, make the correction and stay on the path. Upon employment, you will swear to an oath of office. Hold true to that oath, periodically come back to that oath, and let that oath refresh your commitment to your community and your profession. And let that oath carry you throughout your career. Be proud of who you are and what you've accomplished. Congratulations, good luck, and most importantly, thank you. All right, this concludes our ceremony for today. Thank you all for attending. We greatly appreciate that. Please join us in the lobby for refreshments. And for those of you sticking around for the swearing-in ceremony, we'll begin that program at 11:30 in this room. Thank you.